Hi guys, this is our second part of that KMS video. So in this video, we are going to talk about asymmetric decrypt option. So in this, like in the previous video, we have talked about like what is KMS. It helps us to create and manage encryption keys, which we use in Google Cloud Services and in our applications. And in it comes in different flavor. Like you can use software keys or hardware keys, or even you can import your existing keys into Cloud KMS. Even we can link, like you have some external key management system, so we can link that external management system to our Google Cloud also. And we can use like KMS to verify digital signature or message authentication codes also. So in this video we will basically focus on this second asymmetric encryption one. We will focus on this. We have already covered asymmetric encryption. We will skip this part because I cannot create a demo for raw asymmetric description. We will first see this option in this video. After that, I will create a signing and max signing video also. So what is asymmetric encryption? So basically, in the last video, we see that in symmetric encryption, we use the same key for encryption and decryption. But here is a little different concept. So basically, we use two different keys. So one is we call public key, and another one is a private key. So like if we read this PPT also, it says like it is a cryptographic technique that utilizes a pair of interrelated but mathematically distinct keys, a public key and private key. And by this, it provides a more level of security because we are using two different keys, and the private keys is more secure, and public key you can send to anyone. Like in public, you can say just you can encrypt my data, but the person who has that in private key only he can decrypt the data. So it is more secure. As in symmetric key, there is only one key. So if it by chance it just compromise, so anyone can decrypt your data. So how it works? First of all, we have to create two keys. The first one is public key, which is freely distributable, like we can distribute to anyone, and while the private key is kept secret by the intended recipient. So anyone who has the person who decrypt the data, that key will always belong to him or her. After that, encryption. So in this specific, we have to remember that we do encryption with the public key only. So like everyone has a public key and you can do the encryption, but whoever have the private key can do the decryption. So the recipient, the public key is used to encrypt the message, and it will transform the message into an unreadable format. So no one can unlock until they have the private key. And for the description part, like for the description, we use the private key to decrypt the message. So this reverse transformation, it retrieves the original message, and it will readable by only by the recipients who are holds a unique private key. So if you don't have a private key, you cannot see what the message they have decrypt. Only the person who has the private key can decrypt the message. So I think you have seen in like PEMFI also, you just send a request with a public message, but anyone who has the private key, he can just then only you are able to log in into your server. So this is also concept of public and private key. You have used many times like SSH keys. Basically they are coming public and private format only. So like here if we see, we are just doing encryption of plain text data using the public key, and after that they are using a secret key which is also known as private key to do the description or decryption of data into plain text. So cloud KMS is also which we already discovered and discussed in last video. So first of all, we have keyrings. So keyrings is like a ring in which we create multiple keys. So in cloud KMS, if you want to create a key, first of all, we need to create a keyring. After that, we have to create a key. So key can have a multiple versions, like multiple versions you can create inside a keyring. So like if you have a key, you can create multiple version, and then that version can support multiple types. So it can of any of these types. So like encrypt dot cryptic signs, decrypt mac, and type. So type can be only one type. We cannot change the type once it has been created. Whether it can be symmetric or asymmetric. You cannot change a key type again and again. After that, purpose, which we have already discussed. This is the purpose. After that, the primary version. So if you are using a symmetric, then only this primary version concept came into that. But if you are using a asymmetric, which we are going focusing on this video, So there is no option of primary versions. So once you create a new version, it doesn't become automatically primary. You have to define from which key you want to decrypt the data or encrypt the data. We will see how it is all this. After that state, whenever you create a new version or key, it has some states like enabled, disabled, scheduled for destructions or destroyed. Then algorithm, you can select which algorithm you want so that your key has will generated like cryptographic operation. We will see all these in upcoming demo. So I'm in my cloud console. So in last video we have this is our keyring which we have created. If you don't know, just check out my last video. So this is our symmetric key which we have used in our last video. So which we have done a demo also. But in this video we are going to create a asymmetric decrypt. So we have to just click on key name. Just call it a symmetric decrypt. After that, we have three protection levels: software, HSM, and external. So software, the operations are performed on the software level. HSM are performed on hardware, security module, basically kind of physical machine. And external means it can be external key manager, like you have an external key manager available, or you are already using external key manager and you want to use that. That I cannot show you because I don't have. HSM is quite costly. So if you want to go with HSM, make sure like it will be between $1 to $3 per key version. So make sure if you are using HSM, it will give you a good bill also. And software is quite cheap. So I am going for this testing purpose. I am going with software also, but you can choose any one of these according to your organization requirement. After that, click on continue. After that, you have two options whether you can generate the key. If you click on generate key, key will be generated by Google only. If you will click on import key, you have to create an import job, and I will show you this demo later on. And you will import your own key. So it is like customer supplied encryption keys. Right now we are working on customer managed encryption keys. So we will click on generated key. After that, so as I taught about algorithm, so symmetric doesn't have algorithm, but if you go asymmetric decrypt, you have multiple algorithm. You can choose like which algorithm you want to go with, like 2048370. These are multiple. You can choose any of these. So like I want to go with 4096. This so that you can see how much of bits of security they are providing to us. So you can go according to your organization. So I am choosing like 4096. After that, click on continue. After that, versions. So automatic key rotation is not available for asymmetric, as we discussed in previous video that we can do automatic key rotation in the symmetric one, in which you just like provide the time at what time your key will automatically rotate. So that is not possible asymmetric. You have to remember that. After that, you have some additional settings like after how many days your key will be destroyed automatically. So if you leave it like this, so default is one way, but as per the new Google documents, like in from the I think from 30th May 2024, it will automatically change to 30 days. So if you leave this value default, so it will take 30 days, but there's some timeline before that. But as of now, it is for 1 day only. But if you want that your key will remain in destruction state for some more days, like you have some data and you have encrypted some data with this key, and now you are going to delete this key, but you have a doubt that maybe some data is still encrypted with this key, so you can make this specific key in destruction state some 4 more days. So if any issue key, so you just restore this key, decrypt that data. Otherwise, if you once this key has been deleted, the data encrypted by with this key can never be decrypted. Even Google doesn't help you on this because they already mentioned document that they don't save this key once it has been deleted. So you have to make sure what you are doing. You can add a label also, but we will leave it as of now and just click on create. So our asymmetric decrypt key has been created. Now let's go inside that, see what the option we have. We can click on overview. You can see keyring, location, software, all that we have. We can use click on versions. So there is no primary version as I've told you. And usage tracking I have not enabled. Permissions, you can provide any permission you want to anyone. and this actions we have we can disable this, destroy this, copy resource name, or get the public key. So you can see that we are getting an option of get public key, but if we go to in our symmetric key, there is no option of public key because there we are using the same key for encryption and decryption. See, so this is my public key. Oh, sorry, a symmetric key. There is no option of, you can see there is no option. So this is the main difference between symmetric and asymmetric. So in asymmetric, we will get an option. So if we click on asymmetric, so if we want to encrypt any data, you need this in a public key. So you just click on get public key. It will show you the public key. You can download this public key or just copy this from here also. So let me open that Cloud Shell and we will just move on the demo. Please wait. In my Cloud Shell, I have a file which is called test.txt. If I do cat.txt, this is a name like this is testing asymmetric encryption. And if you remember, we have just copied our public key. So I will create a file called nano pub.key and I will just copy paste. So this is my public key which I am pasting in my this file and I will just save this file. So now we have to run some commands. So if you want to encrypt any data, you have so basically you use to use a OpenSSL. So these are the commands which we are going to use. So first of all, you can use this command to download the public key. So which we have already done. So we don't need to run this command. But if you want to download, just you check out this command. I will share a link also for the command. After that, this is the command to encrypt your file. So we have to just updated some data here. Let me zoom it out a little bit. So encrypt pubin. After that, we have to provide the public key path. So let's go here and do a pwd. So this is our path, and we have to provide it. So just copy it. This is our public slash pub dot key. After that, these are all we just leave it, and here it is clear data input file. So which is our text.txt which we want to encrypt, and this is our encrypted data output file. So let's call it encrypt.txt. So looks fine, I think so. Just we have updated. This is our clear text file. This is our public key. These are open or SSL things which we are going to use, and this is our encrypt.txt. We'll just copy and paste, and I will just paste here. Maybe it will give an error, but looks like it works fine. Do ls cat encrypt.txt. You can see it is encrypted. You can see it is, we cannot read what it is done. This is totally encrypted. Now the option, another option is we have to decrypt it. So for the decryption, we have to do the same thing, but there are some things which we have to take here. So it is asking for the version. So if we go back, so as of now, if we see there is only one version as of now. So what we can do, just create a new version. Just click on the new version. We can create a new version, but if we create a new version, it will always create with this algorithm also. So but suppose there's you want to create a new algorithm also, you just change the algorithm here also. So you can choose any another algorithm in future if you want to create a key with some another algorithm, but I will create a new version as of now. So it is a new version, and you can see all are enabled. There is no primary version. So every time we have to decrypt, we have to provide a version, like which version we want to use. But, and if you remember, we didn't provide any version for the decryption because we just provide public key. There is no need to provide version for the encryption, only during the decryption type. So what we have done, we have encrypted with this version, version 1. But what if we try to decrypt it version 2? Will it work? Not. Let's try it out. So let's go back and we will provide key version. Let's say 2. We know it is a wrong version. After that, it is asking for the key name. So let's click on overview and sorry, key name. Here we have asymmetric decrypt. After that, it is asking keyring. Keyring is this, my demo ring. After that, it is asking location. This is Asia South one. After that, it asking that set file path with set encrypted data. So file path we have to provide. Let's do a ls. So pwd. This is our path, and file is encrypt.txt. Let's copy it. And after that, it is asking for the file path to store plain text data. We can say like tcrypt.txt. Now let's try to run this. But we have to remember we are using a different version, and this, and as I already told you, so we are using a second version to decrypt our key or data, but we have encrypted with this version. So I think maybe it, you can comment whether it work or not. You can think of it. Can it work? So let's go and paste of this. Let me authorize. I have to rerun the command. So see, it is giving an error description decryption failed. Let me run again and see whether it works. Again, it is saying decryption failed. It is why it is failing basically because we are using a wrong version. Because the public key we have used this one, like this version, but we are trying to decrypt with the version 2 private key. So doesn't make sense. So public and private key as a pair, and they always match each other. So let's update the version to version 1 and then check. So guys, as we are seeing right now, even after changing the version also we are getting the same error like decryption failed. Something has gone wrong, and this can be happen with you also. So after spending some time, you may get to know what is the issue. But let me, if you know what I have done wrong, you can just comment it down. But what comes wrong here actually, if you see in the command we are going using this while doing the encryption, we are using a SHA 256, but while creating that our algorithm we are using a SHA 51512. So that's the part we have used wrong. So if you go here also in the documentation, so they provide SHA 256, but you have to make sure like what algorithm you are using. According to that, just change this. Some support different, some support different. So even if I create a new version here and let me change the algorithm here, maybe it will show. See, so these are the SHA. So some one support one, some is 256, and this one support 512. So what is happening right now? I have encrypted with this algorithm, and I'm 256 algorithm. You can see here, and when I try to decrypt with our 512 algorithm, which I am using right now, it is saying description field because the data is not matching as of now. That's the issue. So you have to make sure that you are doing the right thing. Maybe you have just encrypted, and after that you have deleted the main data, and you thought that later on you can decrypt it. It will give you a huge problem. So what we are doing to go now, so as we are not able to decrypt now, we will encrypt with new data like 512 only now. Let me update it to 512 and make it encrypt 2, and let's run the command again. Now command has run, do ls, do cat encrypt 2.txt. Now you can see it is showing that again that some encrypted data. Now what we do, now we will try to decrypt again, and here we will just update it encrypt 2.txt. Everything is same. Now we are using that correct algorithm which we want to use. Make sure you are using the algorithm correctly here. And as you see that using a wrong algorithm we have stuck. It is in decryption field. Even we changed versions also. Now let's copy it and run this command. We can see the run command has been run successfully. If we do ls, we can see a decrypt file has been created. If we do cat decrypt.txt, we have the same data which is in our test. .txt. Now one more thing we can do, like, so this is our first key, and we have used this public key, like this version public key. So if we try to decrypt with this version, as we have tried before also, but that time we are using a wrong algorithm. So now let's try again, give it version 2, and again try to decrypt. See, it is against in decryption field, it cannot decrypt. So you have to make sure what you are doing and don't do anything wrong. So maybe suppose this version has been compromised and you want to rotate. So first of all, you have to decrypt all the data and you have to decrypt, encrypt with the new version. So this is what we can do. And even if you want to disable, you can disable. So it is saying that disabled versions cannot operate on data. After a key is disabled, there are delay of like up to some hours, but it can still operate your data. So if I even disable this version, this key will still works. So better to destroy this version to see what how it is. So let's click on destroy. We have to provide the day. So as of now, while creating, we didn't provide any like value, so it will destroy after 1 day. We click on schedule destruction, and then so now it has been destroyed. So it is like the destruction is kind of immediate only. So now let's retry to decrypt our data. So let me update the version to 1 and click on copy. As of now it is working, but it will take some time before giving a error. So let's wait a little. After waiting a minute or two, let's try to run this command again. And now we can see it cannot be used as it is a destroyed issued. So suppose you have some data and before like this, like what is the manual, like Google recommend that first disable. If someone face issue, just re-enable that and decrypt the data and re-encrypt the new key. And even if you make sure that everything is good, put the key under destruction for some more days, like 30 days, 20 days, so that if someone face issues, you can just recover that key and agree again and use this key to like decrypt the data, because once the key has gone, nothing can be done. Google cannot support on this. So make sure what you are doing and make sure the version you are using, like which SHA version, and if you are using SHA 1, use the correct command, otherwise your data will not decrypt it, because it is using different algorithm, you are encrypted a different algorithm, so it will get so much of issues. So let's click on restore. So our now data, this key has been restored. So this is the basic example which I have shown you. You can use, comment it down if you have any issues. I will try to help you. And any suggestion, please let me know. I will make asymmetric sign and max signing video or import job. Just three are pending, which I try to make videos on this. Thank you.